Good morning, everyone. I'm Sergeant Michael Williams, and on behalf of Chief Warrant Officer 3 Don Carlson, First Sergeant David Helms, and the rest of the 29th Infantry Division Band, I would like to wish you a happy Veterans Day. Veterans Day is celebrated each year on November 11th and serves to recognize the service members of the United States military. And whether serving on the land and the sea or in the air, one thing that binds us all together is tradition. From all of us at the 29th Infantry Division Band, happy Veterans Day.
Good morning, staff, scholars, and community members, and welcome to our 2020 Virtual Veterans Day Assembly. First of all, please allow me to thank all of our prior duty and active duty service members. Thank you for your commitment, your sacrifices, and your love for your family and our country, and for all that you've done and all that you continue to do. For that, we say, thank you for your service. As a former active duty soldier in the United States Army, I know firsthand what it takes to commit to the military and commit to service. So staff, scholars, and community members, today I want to talk to you about two very important topics that I believe is happening around us every day and every second. Those two topics are leadership and change. I don't have an elaborate speech written out for you this morning, but I do have a few words that I would like to share with you. Those words are leadership, change, actions, love and support, we need each other, and hope. If you would allow me, I'm going to ask for your permission to be authentic today and to speak from the heart. So, in being authentic and speaking from the heart, I need you all to allow me to engage with you from the realm of not being perfect. I tell our staff members all the time that I'm quite allergic to perfect people because perfect people have expectations of themselves and others that are not realistic. Scholars, as I always say, it's important for us to learn and grow together, and in learning and growing together, we make mistakes. So if I make a mistake today or if I pause, please give me that grace and that love and that support because we're in this together. So here we go. As a leader, we know, and you should know, because every day I want you all to remember your leadership and your greatness. As a leader, we know that change is inevitable. And what does that mean? That means that change is a constant. You can't run away from change. You can't hide from change. Change is always around us. For fifth grade, you guys are learning about matter. And when you look at water, if you freeze it, it turns into a solid. That's a change. If you allow it to dissolve, it turns into a liquid. That's a change. And if you heat it up and allow it to evaporate and it turns into a gas, that's also a change. We're dealing with a major change right now in our society, in that scholars, you all are learning, some of you in the distance setting, and some of you are learning at school. That's another change. Our school system as a whole looks very different than what it looked like last school year. Another big change. You changed teachers from last year to this year, and in January, some of you may change teachers again. So we know that change is inevitable. We know that change is a constant. So I ask you, is change the problem? I'll give you an answer. No, change isn't a problem. In fact, change is a good thing. One thing that I know about veterans, those who have served and those who continue to serve, is that every veteran has a spark. There is a flame in their heart that committed them to join the military in hopes of being a part of a greater good for change. So change is not the issue. Change is not the concern, because we know you can't run away from it. The matter at hand is, what do you do when you're faced with change? And so let's talk about action. Scholars, on Veterans Day, I want to highlight a few things that great leaders do and veterans have done and consistently do as they lead and serve in the military. When veterans are confronted with change, they analyze it. They look at, what is the change requiring of me, right? They choose to find the positive in the change and identify the uncomfortable pieces of that change, and they look for supports so that they can deal with the change. Every day, scholars, you are going to be faced with a change. Some changes are going to be visible to you and other changes aren't going to be as visible. But do know that change is happening every day and always around you. I'm going to challenge you, I'm going to challenge our staff, and I'm going to challenge our community. That as we engage in change, I ask that, that's the area of grace. I'm going to ask that you remain hopeful. I'm going to ask that you remain positive. I'm going to ask that when you need help, that you find people who can come alongside you to walk you through this change process. There is no I in team, and there's absolutely not an I in veterans. What you will see in the military is that there's a collective group of people who've come together for a greater cause of change. Today on Veterans Day, I would like to salute all of our veterans and two other groups of people who may have served in the military or who may not have served in the military, but they all have a common thread that ties and unifies us together, and that is service. I want to thank our teachers and our parents and family members for your service. Thank you for being with our scholars as we engage in this new way of schooling. Thank you, teachers, for your commitment and your love to our scholars. I have seen you all up in the middle of the night working on lesson plans. I've spoken one-on-one with teachers about processing change and processing the new aspects of digital learning and new teams and just the new way of engaging as a whole in our society. Thank you to our parents who are working right alongside with scholars as they're engaging in the virtual setting. Thank you to our community members that are helping our scholars in daycare centers. Thank you for all that you do to help our scholars learn and grow. Thank you for helping our scholars actualize and realize their greatness. Thank you for being a part of cultivating the greatness that is inside of them. And thank you for helping our scholars soar to great places. Scholars, we love you. Many of you are watching this today and you have no idea, but one day you too will be a veteran. I ask that as you join the military, the police force, hospitality, the medical field, and education, and whatever sphere of influence that you commit yourself to joining when you grow up, and even now, I ask that you remember that you're a leader, and great leaders love change. Great leaders look at change not as something that's bad, but as an opportunity to get better. We love you. Happy Veterans Day. Know today and always that you're great. Stay tuned for an amazing assembly, and I'll be right back to close us out.
service call. Soldiers young and soldiers old fought for freedom, brave and bold. Some have lived while others died, and all of them deserve our pride. We're proud of all the soldiers who kept thinking of the red, white, and blue. They fought for us and all our rights. They fought through many days and nights. And though we may not know each name, we think all veterans just the same. Army, Navy, Marine, and Air Force too, fighting hard for me and you, protecting our freedom every day, making it possible to work and play. Your star shines so very bright each and every day and of night. We are so proud of you, keeping us safe, the red, white, and blue. There's not words big enough, there's not a hug strong enough, and there's not a smile wide enough. All I can offer is thank you. You are my hero. You are in my prayers. For all you've done, thank you. It is the veteran, not the preacher, who has given us freedom of religion. And it is the veteran, not the reporter, who has given us freedom of the press. And it is the veteran, not the poet, who has given us freedom of speech. It is the veteran, not the campus organizer, who has given us the freedom to assemble. It is the veteran, not the lawyer, who has given us the right to a fair trial. And it is the veteran, not the politician, who has given us the right to vote. Those of us who have never served will never fully understand the sacrifices you've made, both in times of peace and of war. We'll never understand what you were required to do or how you were able to do it. We'll never fully understand the depths of your scars. But what we can offer you is this. We see you. We recognize your humanity. And we send you love that is gentle, patient, and healing. With blessings and gratitude, we ask that you remember that you are loved. Thank you. On this day, we take the time to honor you and everything you've done for this country. Without you, this country wouldn't be how it is today. And we honor you. Thank you for protecting the country I love, the land I love, the land of the home and the brave, the land of the red, white, and blue.
staff, scholars, and community members, I am smiling from ear to ear. What an amazing assembly. I want to give a special thank you to all of the teachers who sent in the letters that our scholars filled out. I want to thank each and every one of our scholars for your amazing letters that you wrote to our veterans and some that were personally written to me. I also want to thank Ms. Williams for all of your hard work in pulling this virtual assembly together. Staff, scholars, and community members, know today and always that you, yes, that's right, you are great. You have greatness inside of you, and you are absolutely soaring to great places. Have a great day. Have a great Veterans Day. And please, in November, notice someone for something great that they've done. We love you. Have a great day.